Hello! Back for another episode. Aren't you just really pleased? Right, okay, so first, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Hobbit House Stitcher. This be me, and this is the Hobbit House. So called because it's so small. It's on the ground floor. We are one of four flats, and that's why I call it the Hobbit House. Oh dear. Right, now, so I would like to first of all say thank you to all those who have so far subscribed and liked my videos. I'm pleased that you like something from them, and that you're happy to enjoy your spend an afternoon or whatever watching them. Although I haven't been going for so long, thank you very much for doing so. And if you haven't already liked and subscribed, it would really help my channel if you would do so. That would be great. Thank you. Now, before I start, I do actually have an Etsy page. Etsy shop, I should say. An Etsy shop now. It's called Man Made 445. And you will find that obviously on Etsy. And I've got some patterns there that I've made, designed rather. So you can go along and pick them up, and if you would like, and it would all help in my quest for more thread and yet more fabric to fill a room with it. Or a box, possibly be more realistic to fill a box than a room. Mind you, a room would be good. A room would be very good indeed. So that's that now. Oh, by the way, they are PDF files, so they're quite easy downloaded, and you can go from there and print them off and do so as you wish. Now, my first segment is I've made more progress on One Stitch at a Time. Now, One Stitch at a Time, as we all know, is by La-Di-Da. There we go, La-Di-Da. And this is as far as I've gotten so far. So again, this is fabric I've coloured myself, and I've mentioned that in the last Week Times episode, and the details of which are in the notes at the bottom of my channel. So you'll find all the details about the fabric dye there. So it says beautiful things come together. There'll be a thread there that's not quite gone in right. One stitch at a, and I'm writing in across here, time. So that's that bit. Now the next bit after that we have to be getting on with, or rather that I have to be getting on with, is the once I've done at a time, there is the motif on the left hand side to do, and I think is that it for now. And then I got it's split up into segments, you see, so that it's easier to follow if you want to follow it like that. So if you want to join, it's all good. I'm doing rather well, considering that I only ever usually do very small pictures. So I think I'm doing rather well with that now. That's as part of a SAL, as part of the Across the Pond Stitching Chat, and there's I've already posted some information about that. They've got a Facebook page, and you can join the Facebook page, and you can also join the Zoom chats as well. They're usually on a Saturday. I think the second Saturday, I think, of every month, if I've got that right. And you can join in, and joining the Zoom calls. Or you don't have to talk, it's entirely up to you. But you can certainly join the stitch along if you'd like. So the next part is what? Now this is my restitch of Maggie May. Oh, can you see it? Maggie May. Oh, there you go, Maggie May. And this is by Stacey Nash. Before we forget to tell about the designer. Now these are the Animal Crackers series. So I've not only got that one, but I also managed through the recent needlework market from Peakside Needleworks, which is over here in the UK. I managed to get the next one, or rather one of the next ones, but well, no, I should say the newer ones, I got Harriet. So I've got that to make an attempt on. So again, that's an Animal Crackers thing. Now the progress on Maggie May, however, is I'm not doing overly bad, considering that this is a re-stitch yet again. Now I've gotten down a bit more further down on the ears, so I'm getting there, highlighting this time as I go. Otherwise I'll just lose my place and it'll be a big mess. So this is fabric that I've coloured myself. Again, the details are in the description about the colour light pink that I used for that. Now, next up are these. Now these little bags, they're about, I don't know, what would you say they were, about maybe 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 centimetres. Anyway, however, they're like a little pocket. Now these were bought from Neve's Neverland. Now Neve's Neverland is sadly no longer in business. She had a website over here in the UK, and she had a website which usually sold things to help out storing babies' items such as wipes and so on. So I saw these little pouches, and I thought they would be really cool to use for my fabric and thread for my buttons, because they're small enough and I don't need big amounts of fabric for my buttons. So in here, in the strawberry one, houses this little dog at the moment, and I've got a few more of those to do. There's a pig and some other ones, a lion and so on, that I can do from there. So that's that, and I can't remember where I got them from, so that's that. So any little patterns can just fit in there, no bother at all. And then what else? So and then in this bag I have got what I have called Bobbin's Pal. Now Bobbin, as we all know, is from the Stacey Nash Animal Cracker series, which I've already done and completed and sent off to a friend as a gift. But we all know what Bobbin looks like. Anyway, this is the start of what I've called Bobbin's Pal. Now Bobbin's Pal is in my Space Panda bag. Which is really rather cute. Now it's from the Bobbin's Pal is from the 1000 Mini Cross Stitch Patterns by Sharon Welch. Now it's got lots of little patterns in. Now let's see if we can get. This book was published in 2013, so it's not really that much of an old book. So there's some of the patterns there that you can have, pictures of patterns I should say, that you can make. And then there's a slightly bigger one that made it into a kind of a sampler. Is that them all? It's a really good book. It goes into detail about how you go about. Does it tell you how to finish things? I think it does. Does it tell you how to do that? It gives you some ideas about how to finish things, like into cards and tags and little thingies, little pictures in the front with little teddy bear jumpers or cardigans or whatever. So that's a good book. So that's where that came out of. That down there. Now, and then I've made a mango. Now this mango is made on, I think it's a 20 count, she says confidently. Now it sparkles a little. I don't know whether you can see it. Can we see the sparkle? No, it's not helping at all, but it does sparkle a little. And that was out of the other favourite book, Cute Kawaii Cross Stitch. Now this is a good one. It's got lots. They go from vegetables to fruit to sweet things to cooking utensils, all with very happy smiley faces on. Now there's the inside front cover. That's got a few bits on it. Now where else have we got some pictures? Oh, here's some more. That also shows you a wee bit about what's in the book there too. There we go. Is there anything else? And also it's really quite good because it gives you the stitch count underneath each picture, so you don't have to sit there and count down the pattern to find out how big it is. So that's always a good help. Now let's have a cup of tea in my very fetching kitten or cat cup, which, what does it say? You are perfect. I do love a good pun. So if anybody's got a very good pun, you can post it underneath in the comments. I do love a good pun. So that's that. Now the next bit is this book that I've recently bought. Now this book, I've got another one that's made by this Ondori, if I'm pronouncing that properly. There's the book. Now this book is an old book, as you can likely gather from the front cover. Now this book was made or published first in 1975. So that's quite some time ago. And in it there are lots of very cool patterns, I thought. And what else have we got? Where's the rest? There's some other good ones. I thought these would be really cool, nice and bright. In fact, these remind me on some of them Satsuma street ones with all the bright colours. So that's that one. And there's also some other, they do embroidery. They've done rather embroidery ones and so on. This was printed in Japan, so it's a Japanese thing. So you can also have them in embroidery. Those are the embroidery ones. Now I do have another one, but I can show that next time. But anyway, that's one of them there, right? Now, what else? Oh yes, now, the last week, or last time, I did in fact show, when I can find it. Where is it? Hold on. What's not in behind there? Here we go. Found it. Now, last time I did show those inners of the sellotape rolls. But what I didn't do, at least what I don't remember doing, was showing you just exactly how I would go about using them. So this is what I thought, like spare strands of thread that you maybe finished with or whatever, you can thread them right over to make a sort of looped kind of bit, and you can store them on there, handy things. And you also can do the same with the wooden one. Anyway, so that was my idea on that, and I thought that was really good, and a good idea to use, not only use up the inners of the sellotape, but also to help to store your thread without using all your floss rings for little bits of thread. And also I do in fact have another idea. Now this is a recent magazine. It was what month was it? This was the World of Cross Stitching, which is from the May issue. So this is the most recent one. Now in it, sometimes you'll get small pictures of advertising patterns or whatever. Now I thought it'd be a really good idea to cut them out and to use them on envelopes or something, just to decorate them. If you're going to be posting anything to somebody that you're sending some of your stitch items to, you could stick that on and make it pretty and make it all about, even if it was the same, even if it was a picture of the pattern that you were going to be sending, and it would all coordinate well. So that's that idea. So that's the segment of crafty ideas. But not only, but also, hang on, more tea. And the next bit is I have been getting a very fancy wicker tub, if you will. Now this wicker tub has got little ears on, so it's got like a bunny. So the lid comes off and you've got all that space inside. Now I thought, the lid goes on like that. Now I thought I might use it to house some, like a stitchy box or something, but put a little bit of fabric in it just to stop anything from getting snagged on the wicker and such. So this was from let's use the word thrift store for everybody that will know what that is. This is what it was originally from Zara, which is it's a clothing come home shop, which is over here. I don't know about anybody else, but certainly over here in the UK. So that's where this was originally from. So I thought that was a very good thing to have. So that down there. Now that's that bit. Now the third bit I wanted to mention was new floss tubers, and new to me floss tubers. Now the first one is Kitty, the Selkie Stitcher. Selkie? Have I pronounced that right? Yes, Selkie Stitcher. Now she is on a new person that I've found, and I think she's also new to the floss tube thing too. So she's on there, so go give her a watch. And also, sip of tea. Also, do please go along and watch Stitch It Pink. Now, Stitch It Pink makes such lovely little patterns. She in the finishing of them is just lovely, and I could sit and watch her listen to her for hours chatting about her, what she's made and things. So please go, and she's fairly new, so please go and give her a watch and see what you think of there. Now there's another lady, which is either fairly new, called a Dutch Stitcher. Now this lady is she's from the Netherlands, Dutch, and she shows some of her lovely patterns and things that she's been doing as well. So please go over and have a watch of what she's been. She's recently also been doing these small interviews with various other floss tubers, so that's always worth a watch too. And I don't know if anybody has seen this magazine, but there is a part of it called, this was the World of Cross Stitching magazine, like I was showing you, before, called and this part is a special feature called Threaded Talent. Now in Threaded Talent, the very first article is from a lady called Steph Matheson, and she's of Fine Frog Stitching. Now, I dare say some of you may or may not have heard of Fine Frog Stitching, but there's some of her patterns, what she makes at the top. There you go. Right. So I thought I'd say, big well done for that, getting yourself into the magazine, or getting into the magazine for an interview. And there's another lady underneath, tells you a bit of, all of which tell you a bit about how they got started, and a little bit about how they got started, and a little bit about answer some questions. So there's another lady underneath called Shaded Stitchery. She's done she does a few patterns too, right there. And then we have got a gentleman. Now this guy is from Serbia, and he's got an Instagram page called hopefully I'm pronouncing this properly, Vezimo.art, and this is his patterns right there. Really bright, colourful ones. He looks like he likes to design. What does he say? What he likes to do? Oh, he likes to. He's been known to play pixel games, so I think this is maybe where he's gotten some of his ideas from. And there's another lady, which you may or may already know this person too, and she is from Stitch with Coffee Designs, and this lady's from South Korea, and she's also got a Instagram page called Stitch with Coffee, but she makes patterns with this little cat is often appears in it. So I've got one or two of those. They're really very cool. It looks like it might be a cool one to do. Right, is that them all? Yeah, that's them all. So that's that bit. So that was very nice to see. Now let's see where else we're going with this. Now next that is part of my new segment with special mentions. Now the other special mention that I wanted to do was to say thank you very much for the shout out from sort of re-shout out, if you like, from Tammy at Leopard and Lace XOXO. Thank you very much. That was very nice and very much appreciated, taking the time to mention my little corner of YouTube, which will hopefully interest most. So that's on also her details of her own floss tubes and Instagram store are in the show notes from the last video, so you'll be able to see those there. And my fourth segment is obviously the stitch along, which I've already showed you just there, and also I've been doing the hashtag one motif a week. So I've got that here. Now, I can't show you the pattern because I haven't got a front cover, but it's an Owl Forest Embroideries, Summer in the Village. So I'm going to do the little motifs and do them separately. So there is a well, like a water well, and that's the roof of the water well. Now I'm using, for the roof, I have got a Gutermann thread, and it's colour 4101, and that's the thread colour. It's like a variegated green. Let me see it. Yeah, right there. And that's what I'm using for the roof. And that is in another one of those Leaves Neverland bags. It's got little ducks on. So that's in that one. Now, what else have we got? Oh yes, now let's see. Now my fifth segment is previous finishes. Now, I've not been doing these pillows long. I've got some pillows in some tart tins as well. So let's have a look at these ones. Now, I haven't been doing these pillows for very long. And I don't have a sewing machine, so these are totally hand sewn. Right, now some of these patterns I no longer have, but you may recognise them yourselves, but some of them I no longer have, and some of them, majority of them are maybe out of magazines and so on. So this was one of the first ones I made, and that's like on a, maybe like a, would it be like a lamb's wool perhaps fabric, Ada of course, and I think it's maybe like an 18 count, and the trim is like a little bit of that fluffy wool, and on the back is just a little bit of red fabric with a patch across the back to hide the stuffing space. Same with this one. This one is also a got the fluffy wool around the edges, and this one has got a plaid back to it. Now these plaid backs and this fabric was part of a set of fabric samples that I got, free fabric samples, and they were just the right size, cut down slightly, but just the right size to put on the back of my pillows. And this is the pattern. This came out of a magazine. This is Paris, and I've put the buttons that I've put on it, I've just sort of loosely stitched them on, and they're like the colours of the French flag, which I thought was pretty nifty. So they're not all the same buttons, they're just different ones. So that's that. And this is another pattern. This was one of the first, in fact this was the first one I made, and it's it was just a random pattern that I thought I might use rather. So it's just a little pencil sharpener, and on the back is just some tartan fabric with a little patch on the back, which is a little bit of felt on the back. Now this one was also another out of a magazine, I think it was, if I have that correct. It's just a little heart again, and some more of that some like a sort of, I suppose you could call it like a natural kind of Ada on there, and the back is not fabulous, but it's there. And this one was definitely out of a magazine, and it's part of a picture, a larger picture, but just like the word ice cream. So I backed it with the same fabric as that one, this gingham, pink gingham, with a little patch on the back to cover the back. Now these ones, you'll all know these ones. These ones are pinker and pumpkin patterns. I'll put her details if I haven't already done so, in the notes at the end of the video. And these ones are this one's the strawberry things that she did, strawberry series that she did. Now let me just see if I can grab it. Here you go. See? Oh, right there. And that's a bowl of strawberries. Now, this wool, it's like a sort of, it comes along with a little sort of bit, and then it's got a little thread that joins it onto the next one. So it all kind of detaches like a little bit like that each time. So I cut off, you can see it right there, that's the little bits that it comes, and then you've got a little thread and it comes around and then joins up and then goes around right the way around. So I cut them off, and I just sewed them on for a bit of trim, but it's not the best, but I you know, it'll do the job. Now these are my little tart tins of the same pattern thing of still the strawberries and still pinker and pumpkin, and I've done all these three on the same blue, light blue Ada. I think it's an 18 count or 16 or 18 count, I think it is, if I've got that right. If not, it's still like a light blue Ada, which is really easy to get, and if you can't get it, you can most certainly colour it yourself. And then there's the little, hang on, there we go, little strawberry cake, which again fits in there just nicely. So those are those previous ones. And I do have another one that I did show you last time, I think. So that's got to be finished into one of these, either a pillow or a tart tin. I'm quite undecided about what I'm going to use for that. Now, where's my next bit? Oh yes, so we're coming towards the end of the video now, but I wanted to ask an episode question. And the episode question is, what does your stitching space look like? Do you have a desk like mine, just here, where you sit at on one of these fancy computer chairs, or do you just sit, do you have a special corner in the living room or a room or whatever that you can use, or do you have your own room, like a dedicated craft room, to which I am rather jealous because I do not have one of those. This is my area that I'm sitting in at the moment, and there's me books right there, right the way down, long bookcase. And if you can see, there are, I don't know whether we can see them. Can we see them? Yeah. Oh, there we go, look. And there is some of my, oh, that's right, there is some of my patterns I've made just there, right there. No, there. There are some of the patterns I've made in the green frame and in the one next to it with the pink. And the rest of them are just random sort of pictures that I've got, but those are my two that I've made myself just there. And I do have, let's move my computer slightly, I do have these, if I can turn them around, there we go. These are some of the ones that I've made in the past. This one here was from a magazine. Again, it was likely to have been a cross-stitcher magazine or a World of Cross-Stitch magazine, which one of the two. That one, the snail, was oh, what is her name? Oh, I remember. She makes these stitch cards. Be in My Bonnet. Be in My Bonnet? Yeah, Be in My Bonnet. And she makes these little stitch cards. and you can get them via the Fat Quarter Shop, which is an American-based company. So that was from where that was from. The one next door to it, with a little, hang on, this way, with a little, hang on, I'm getting my coordination right. Here we go. This one here, whoops, there, is a pink and pumpkin pattern. So that's another one of those which I made into just a square using a small square canvas, artist canvas. The one at the top, I don't can see it. Can we see it? Is it? Hang on. Here we go. Can we see it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. There it is. The one at the top of the little house. That one is, let's see if we can move this a little closer. Oh, now, can we see it right? Oops. See the little house at the top? Just there. Oh, don't put your finger on it. The little house just there is just a pattern. I've no idea. I can't remember where I got it from. The one next door to it that says bees, that's from, let's see if I can stand up, might make it easier to see. Can you see it? No. There it is. The one that says bees is a Stitching with the Housewives pattern. Same with the one next door to it that says fancy carrots. And the one at the top that says please enter your pin is another place that I can't remember where I got that from. And this one down here that we've got hanging right there, hang on, let's just see if we can move this back a bit, because we don't want to make it so that you can't see. Now just there, that's a pattern from an old leaflet book, and the one underneath it is a hands on design pattern called Summer, I think it were called. So that's those ones. I hope you were able to see that, not a mumble jumble of moving about, not being able to see anything. But anyway, so I can always take them down next time, and you can let them. Hang on, hold on. Better than that. Let's have a look and see if I can show you the ones that I can reach at the moment. Now, let's see. Let's have these two. Now this was the bee in my bonnet one that I was trying to show you. Right there. That's the little snail. And this one was the pink and pumpkin one, as I was trying to show you, with little bird and his little flowers and his little sack in the sun. Really nice little little patterns. Don't take too much time to make. And this is one of the first ones that I made. This is a Stitching with Housewives one. See, it's fancy carrots seeds. So that might be a bit better way to show you. You can see them better now. And this was another one that I made, but I don't remember where I got this from. It's escaped me where this is from, but they're two little rabbits in a little house. But I don't remember. I made this in 2023 apparently, but I have no idea where I got it from, which is a bit as helpful as it gets. Oh, hold on a moment. Yes, I do. I think I do. I can look it out for next time. Well, I think I do remember where I got it from. So, so that's those right there, and I think so. If you want to answer the question about what your stitchy space looks like, you can drop your comments in the box underneath, and you can tell me all about what your stitchy space looks like, if you'd like. And also, so don't forget about the details about the SAL. That was in last time's episode, the episode prior to this one. You'll find all the details about that there. And also, please do go to my Etsy page for a look if you'd like to. That would always be a big help. And I think that, oh, hold on, I'm not quite finished yet. You're not getting away quickly, like as quickly as you thought. Oh, that's dropped on the floor, and that too. Dear oh dear, I'm having a right avalanche here. Right, hang on, right now. This was a pattern I recently printed. Now, my ink was starting to get a little low, so the front page isn't as good as it could be, but it's called the Crafter Owl, and I like the picture for the simply for the owl, and it's from Nath Nolu and Cross Stitch Patterns, and that's on Etsy. That's an Etsy designer, so that's another one there. And this is a recent book I bought. Well, let's see if we can shift these bits and pieces out of the way. Now, this is a recent book I bought. Now, this is by Helen Phillips. You can see, oh, Helen Phillips, right there. And this is called Quick to Stitch, Cross Stitch Keepsakes. Now, in the Quick to Stitch, Cross Stitch Keepsakes, there are several little patterns that you can do. There you go. It says cookies and a little house at the top. So that's that one there. Now, what else have I got that I can show? Oh, look, there we go. And then there's other ones, make little teddies and stuff at the top. You can see them. There you go. And then what else? Well, this is the one that's on the. This is one of the ones that's on the front cover. And then there's a little bee thing. I suppose you could use it for your scissors. There's the little picture that's on the front. And there's the bees that's there. And then we can look at a scissor. Is that what it is? I think it is. I think you could make it. Oh yes, a scissor keeper. That's what it is. It's a scissor keeper. And these are other ones that you can make. There's a bag and a ticket for your place to put your on your suitcases for your travels. There you go. Right there. And then there is, what else do we have? We've got a sampler for a baby. Right there. Let's see if we can turn the page. Can we turn the page? Go on, Mr. Page. There we go. And there is another one. No, what else do we have? Ooh, that's right, knock yourself in the face with it. Right, okay, now what else have we got? Oh, there's that pattern in a bit more detail with the little toys, little teddies. They're really cute, little sheep. Now, so that's that one. And then, is that the lot? And do we get into patterns? Yeah, we get into patterns after that. So this book was created, or should I say published, in 2008. Is that right? At the last I said 2008. So, you know, it's well worth a go if you'd like to try and get together. They're not expensive. You can get them on the second-hand market, so they're not expensive books to get. So that's that down there. So that's a new book. I've got another one, a new book coming, actually, as it happens, by the same person. So also by Helen Phillips. So I thought that it might be nice to finish, because I've got one or two of her other ones, and I thought it might be nice to finish the collection. And is that all? I do believe that's all. Oh, nothing stitchery related, by the way. So I was out a few weeks ago, and I did get, it's a shop near to where I live. It's a refillery kind of shop, well, a place where you can go and with your tub, like to refill your washing up liquid or whatever that you would buy initially from the shop, and you can go in and get it refilled. So she does lots of that stuff. She also sells bits and pieces like candles and soaps and things like that. So I bought this. It's a little bangle, which doesn't really fit very well, but then bangles never really have fit me very well. So it fits a bit. It's not too bad, look. Fits a bit. So I can pull the string on it. So that was a nice treat. And it's got the little diddy little beads on. So that's always good. So that's another thing. It's not at all stitch related, but you know, it's that. Is that all? I think that be all my chattings for today. So I shall let you all go. Have a nice rest of your Sunday. Most of the afternoon. In fact, it's not afternoon. It's almost evening. In fact, it is evening here in the UK. So we'll see you later, and bye.